From the National Newsroom of the Canadian Press, I'm John Kennedy. New data from the Treasury Board shows federal public servants took fewer sick days during the height of the COVID-19 pandemic than either side. When most office employees were working entirely from home in 2020 to 21, the average amount of sick days taken was 5.9 days, but the number has risen back to 9.2 days as of 2023 to 24. Dr. Ali Khan Abdullah of the College of Family Physicians of Canada says reduced exposure to your fellow co-workers and the ability to work from home while mildly ill is a likely contribution to the decline. Some small Indigenous businesses are halting shipments to the U.S. due to new tariffs under the Trump administration, even though cross-border trade predates Canada and the U.S. Canadian Council for Indigenous Businesses Vice President Matthew Foss says there needs to be a resolution that allows Indigenous peoples to continue to undergo the trade routes they've established and practiced historically. Canada Post has not suspended exports, but is reviewing options to maintain continuity, while Indigenous leaders are pushing the federal government to protect treaty and Aboriginal trade rights. New research on a sample of asteroid collected from Bennu is offering insight as to how the rock came to be. 3 studies were published this month, including Canadian scholars, and they found that Bennu is made up of materials that are well beyond our solar system. Dr. Patrick Hill, a program scientist with the Canadian Space Agency, says Canada is constructing a specialized clean room to be able to study the rocks when they arrive in Canada early next year.
It's a very niche project, as you can imagine. While clean rooms are often used for medical research or semiconductor research, this area is quite niche because of the astromaterials. And there's a lot of requirements that we have to make sure are implemented to ensure that we are not contaminating the sample.
Canada will host 4% of the 122 grams of dust and pebbles that were brought back to Earth by a NASA-led mission in September 2023. The U.S. Department for Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem says Donald Trump's administration will expand immigration operations into Chicago, confirming the plans for a stepped-up presence of federal agents in the nation's third-largest city. Chicago activist Greg Collins says Donald Trump is currently on a power trip.
Trump is just, I don't know, he's just flexing his muscles. And, he's showing that he's president, he can do anything he wants to, and that's not the way.
It comes after the administration deployed the National Guard to Washington, D.C., targeting crime, immigration, and homelessness 2 months after it sent troops into L.A. This is the Canadian Press. In sports, the Toronto Blue Jays have claimed infielder Isaiah Kiner-Falefa off waivers from the Pittsburgh Pirates. In a corresponding move, right-hander Yimi Garcia has been transferred to the 60-day injured list. By making the waiver claim before tonight's deadline, Kiner-Falefa is eligible to play for the Blue Jays in the postseason. The Winnipeg Blue Bombers look to extend their win streak to 3 games when they visit the CFL best Saskatchewan Roughriders. Winnipeg is only 2 games back of the 8-2 Riders in the West Division, and the 7-3 Calgary Stampeders in between the two. The Riders are coming off a 32-15 loss to Calgary from last week. Daniil Medvedev has split with longtime coach Giles Cervara after a disappointing year in the Grand Slam tournaments ended with a meltdown in the first-round loss at the U.S. Open. Medvedev, the 2021 U.S. Open champion, and Cervara both posted messages on Instagram today thanking each other for a successful partnership. From the Canadian Press, I'm John Kennedy.
Thanks for listening. Don't forget to follow and subscribe. For more of today's top stories, visit thecanadianpressnews.ca.